After an overnight cruise, the Aegean Odyssey is arriving at the island of La Palma. It is late morning and we will dock at the city of Santa Cruz de La Palma for our brief visit to the island. It is overcast and the clouds hang low over the east shore of the island. La Palma is about 40 kilometers long and 25 kilometers at its widest. Like all the Canaries, it originated as an underwater volcano and seamount from the African plate 4,000 meters deep in the ocean. It is believed to have emerged above the sea about 3 to 4 million years ago. As we approach the coast, the pilot is coming to guide the ship in the harbor. There is little wind, but a substantial swell tosses the small boat around. The pilot will require good timing to jump on board. The cliffs on the hills are pockmarked with small and large caverns, the ends of ancient lava tubes. It is always interesting to see how the ship gets moored and tied to the wharf. Interesting sign. It says, "Did you know that the Earth is an area of 510,082,000 square kilometers? Is this big? True? Why do you come to smoke here in this small space?" The first stop for today's excursion is the 17th century Santuari Virgen de las Nieves, Sanctuary of the Virgin of the Snows, the patron saint of the island. It is built on the hill overlooking the city. We drive by the Naval Museum in a replica of one of Columbus's caravels. Fortifications for Santa Cruz de La Palma were originally built in 1560 after the city was attacked by French pirates. The current castle was built in 1685. In this mountainous region, tunnels are frequent and great for safe and shorter drives. The small church has an interesting sundial on its southwest corner. The paving of the Plaza de las Nieves is a very interesting design of fairly uniform stone pebbles. We resume the tour to Finca La Principal, an old inn and winery resort, for a sampling of local wine and a tour of the gardens. The highlight of the excursion will be a hike from the viewpoint of La Cumbrecita, the small summit, on the southern edge of the Caldera de Taburiente. The bus will be climbing up a ridge in a very mountainous area. The summit of this ridge is about 1400 meters or 4500 feet. The Caldera de Taburiente was formed about 500,000 years ago during a giant landslide of the volcano wall. Erosion has since revealed part of the original seamount in the northern part of the caldera. The summit of the caldera on the north end rises to over 2400 meters, close to 8,000 feet.
I also managed to build crystal palace, which I'm sure some of you have visited.
Typical cumulus clouds start at an altitude of around 3,000 feet, and we are getting closer to them.
With an express cabin, this managed to get an original cultivar of Musa, a combinata, and with the help of Joseph Baxter Island.
We now get into the clouds as we keep climbing to the tunnel entrance. The road has now been divided and is 2 lanes going up. A separate road coming from the second tunnel is used only in the other direction.
The population of the island is 81,000 inhabitants, and this is scattered over 14 municipalities that thrive, and the ciudad is one ingredient is really freezing. They live down in Junction in SW11 in London, and it's really cold here. Whenever if that temperature was La Palma, the world will come to an end, literally. Unless you were up in El Roque del Muchachos, when the temperature is, when you are at 2,426 meters above sea level, or nearly 7,000 feet. On the way back we will come to
the tunnel entrance is at an elevation of about 1,000 meters or 3,300 feet. The tunnel is 2.5 kilometers long.
I know it is hard to believe, but in the same place, the same island.
We are now going back down to the valley, and we will then climb back up to La Cumbrecita parking lot on a very narrow mountain road. The Caldera de Taburiente reveals the geological history of the formation of the islands of La Palma. All Canary Islands originated as seamounts, which through repeated underwater lava eruptions eventually created islands above the ocean surface. Over millions of years, cycles of eruptions and erosions took place, and this can be seen on Taburiente. The group will hike about 1 kilometer to another viewpoint, from Mirador de la Cumbrecita to Mirador Lomo de las Chozas. From time to time, the clouds open up briefly to allow for spectacular views of the peaks across the Caldera. We have reached the Mirador de las Chozas, from which we can see the parking lot of La Cumbrecita across the deep ravine. In November 2005, a huge tropical storm blew over La Palma. Sustained winds of 150 to 200 kilometers an hour lasted about 8 hours and peaked at 325 kilometers an hour, causing significant damage to infrastructure and various plantations, including all trees in the Caldera. The tour backtracks to the visitors center to view some exhibits and learn more about the Taburiente area. As the sun sets behind interesting cloud formations, we'll return to the ship through the second and longer tunnel. On September 19, 2021, La Cumbrecita volcano erupted for 85 days, entirely destroying some towns, over 3,000 buildings, and cutting off the coastal highway. The lava flow was 3 kilometers at its widest point and over 6 kilometers long, reaching the sea and creating a new peninsula. In recent history, volcanic activity has been limited to the south part of La Palma.